paying any attention, but Aliens Fireteam was announced this week for pretty much everything. So it's coming Q3 2021. So it's PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. And it's a 3-player.
You could have just said no Switch.
Yeah, true. 3-player, well, next gen, well, current gen, old gen. It's so confusing. It's a 3-player co-op shooter, PvE style, in the Aliens universe set after the events of the trilogy. So this is like the earlier Alien films, obviously. And yeah, it's like different classes, enemy types, things like that. Very Left 4 Dead vibes. I was super amped about this, and I was like shocked that you guys didn't want to talk about it.
No. I did want to. I thought you were talking about that other game.
No.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about.
But then, Swinny, were you not hyped about this, or?
Look, just seeing the headline, new Aliens co-op shooter, you're like, it's just like that's not the kind of thing that catches my attention. But when I actually watched the footage that IGN put up, so they had a big chunk, like 15 minutes of gameplay. Speaking with the developers, it's actually quite good. They it looks really, really solid. Looks good.
Yeah.
It's a new
like
studio.
It's very playable right now.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing.
It's the first game this studio has put out.
It looked polished,
but yeah, it looks really good. It just looks like fun, honestly. And yeah, what can I say? I think the name is very generic, but whatever. It's a name.
It's extremely generic.
Yeah, so
it's fine.
But it just look, it's a different style of game, but just brought me back to playing Transformers War for Cybertron, their kind of horde mode stuff. And I know it's not a horde mode kind of game. It seems like it's structured like Left 4 Dead where you're going through missions. But that PvE, co-op PvE aspect has always been fun. It's always fun to play games with your mates. So this looks like good fun.
Well, so I missed out of the whole sort of Left 4 Dead era with you guys, like playing those games. And I saw this game, and then I found out that it's a 3-player co-op game. I'm like, yeah, they're obviously bigwiggers. These
absolutely.
devs.
But is it cross-platform?
Well, cross-platform, I feel like that's now really... People are shocked when it's not cross-platform. But it might not be, but I'd be really annoyed if it's not. I'd be super annoyed.
You might have to get a Series X. Sorry.
No, never.
Games that tend to be cross-platform these days are the larger ones with, like your battle royales and stuff.
Yeah.
Not so much your 3-player.
What about this one?
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think that's
this
true.
One was.
I think a lot of games, like smaller studios, are making cross-platform games as well.
But I'm saying in general, that's the kind of history with a lot of those titles are generally the ones with a lot more online presence.
But logically, it actually makes so much more sense if you have a smaller game to make it cross-platform, right?
Oh,
why?
Because you have a smaller player base, so by making it cross-platform, you're actually essentially
that's
creating
a
bigger base. Economically, they're way more incentive to do that than
I don't think
not do it.
I don't get the impression Playbase is much of an issue for this style of game because it's 3-player co-op. It's not like
dude. I can explain how it 100% is because you guys will want to play it on the Series X. I have zero interest in ever getting a Series X.
No, I'm not saying cross-platform. I'm saying you said player base. I said I don't think Playbase is like an issue for 3-player games.
But I mean, Playbase is also like 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I think you definitely want to have it cross-platform because there might be. I won't get this if you guys don't want to play it on PC.
I'm all for cross-platform. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm all for Aliens.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope it's not a full price game. Like, I'd kind of almost be shocked if it is. But you never know.
It would have to. I reckon it would have to have some sort of single player campaign in it as well to justify anything close to that. There's few games that I can think of that are. Actually, no, really. I'm struggling to think of a game that's only multiplayer that is priced at a full $60 / $100
Do we know who's publishing? I couldn't actually see who.
No, I couldn't even really find that much about the devs and everything like that.
Yeah. Is it Gearbox?
No, it's not Gearbox. But,
well, and can I just ask, like,
I know, I was having a go at.
Did this game literally just come out of nowhere? Like, I feel like I had nothing, knew nothing about this game.
There's been talk about an Aliens multiplayer game for a while, bubbling around. I can't say 100% if this is exactly what I was talking about, but yeah, I'm just looking. There's no, at least on the Wikipedia page. Obviously, it's a brand new Wikipedia page. There's no publisher listed currently, so.
Yeah, this
fair
game came out of nowhere. This game, like, I swear, I've
kinda
never heard
did,
anything
yeah.
about this game.
It kind of did.
And that's why when I checked it this week, and I'm like, what? Like, there's some an Aliens 3-player co-op
Tightly
game. I'm like,
wrapped.
this is awesome.
I wonder if that's so. So you know, I joked around just before about colonial
going.
marines.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm dyslexic. I swear. Earlier today,
I'm not sure if
as
that's
in when we
dyslexia,
were
but go on.
well, when we were talking earlier just before, I'm pretty sure I said is worth life living instead of is life worth living. Anyway,
Fair enough.
so yeah, what you know, I think a lot. If people don't know, there was a bit of an issue with that game because all these awesome trailers were shown that were supposed to be gameplay, and then when the actual game came out, it was a massive disappointment. And I think maybe the industry is a little wary about showing anything aliens related until they're kind of confident that it's definitely a good product. But even with this, I'll take it with a grain of salt. Let's wait until it comes out, and then we can see how good this game actually ends up being. It looks solid, and you can tell when a game feels, even in a trailer, right? You can tell when a game feels like, oh man, it's missing something. Something's not right about this. This one actually felt all right. Everything that I saw was, yeah, this feels good. It feels like it's a pretty polished experience so far.
Well, I think to address that though, Mike, I think that's very much why the reason you probably haven't heard that much about it. Number one, until they had a lot to show, and then also they actually, what's the guy's name? Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, very good guy, like huge Xbox fan, runs the Xbox podcast over there. He played 25 minutes, like full, like a first full mission or something like that with a couple of the devs. So you know what I mean? Like that's the game.
Yeah,
the alpha version it looks really good. Yeah, it looked really good as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Like I like the way it looked. I think you said the same, yes, Winnie.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're all like big fans of the aesthetic and Geiger. And
yeah,
like
dude,
that, so.
yeah, huge fan. Huge fan.
Yeah. Speaking of huge fans, we're all huge fans of this franchise as well. Really kind of almost